Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the live stream here on the channel. Let's see what we have in the chat today. We have Proxy Touchdown. We also have Severe Weather Lover, Caleb, classic YouTube channel. Going down a little further, we have Dindon, Caden, Catman, as well as Indiana, Jim. We also have, let me go a little further, Brian, James, Pez, Weather, Overground, Super, and yeah, everyone else who is watching may not be chatting, as well as anyone I may have forgotten who messaged in the chat. Glad to have you guys all in here today for another stream. DJ, what the heck? DJ, welcome to the stream. Set the wrong way around. Oh my goodness, it's going to be one of those days, huh? All right, hopefully I have everything set up. Yeah, I do. We are good to go. So we're going to be talking about now that everything's dying out, the threat for 70-mile-an-hour winds today. Well, it really already happened. Kind of missed it. It was pretty early. And we did have a tornado warning earlier today. I almost went live for it, but it was very, very brief. Didn't do much. Don't think it touched down. So currently our only severe weather is this singular severe storm in Mount Vernon in southwestern Indiana and my state. My state has a severe thunderstorm warning up here for the Winchester area, southern Winchester, for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind. So not a whole lot of activity happening in the U.S. Now that I went live. Y'all know how it goes. Normally when we go live, stuff just either dies out, or when we end, it increases in activity. Now, let's go over today's risk for severe weather. We will get a new update in over a little about, what, 57 minutes. We'll be live for that, of course. So here's today's outlook. We do have a marginal risk, massive marginal risk, level 1 threat all the way from most of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, into Georgia, all the way back up to a good chunk of Wisconsin, back out west towards Colorado and New Mexico. So very, very large level 1 threat. This is all a level 1 threat. All of this is level 1. And then we do have that level 2 threat out here for Kentucky. I don't think we'll see much in Ohio or central Indiana. Not really sure why. We have a slight risk for severe weather out there. We'll see if they remove that at the next update. I don't really see any potential that far to the north. Here's your tornado threat today. We do have two very large 2% chances for tornadoes. We have a low pressure system up here in Wisconsin that could cause a few rain showers to produce tornadoes out there in Wisconsin, northern Illinois, eastern Iowa, southeastern Minnesota. And then we do have a large 2% back out here in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, into West Virginia, and almost all of Kentucky under that 2% chance for tornadoes. So we do have quite the threat today. It's slightly elevated, but it's not nearly as large as yesterday. We also have our threat for damaging winds. We've got that level 1 risk in the brown all the way around Virginia, North Carolina, back out west towards Colorado, and New Mexico, back up north towards Wisconsin. And then, of course, we have that level 2 threat in Indiana and Ohio for the potential of 70-mile-an-hour winds. I did put 80 in the title because we were expecting that line to strengthen over time, but it looks like it's dying out, so I changed that back down to 70. I don't think 80 is going to be a occurrence today, unless it was earlier today. We might have seen a gust of 80 towards Illinois, but I didn't see any reports of that. Velocity showed almost 80, though. Hail threat today, very low. I don't even think I put it in my title. It's not really that noteworthy. We could have some isolated hailstones upwards of 1.5 inches, maybe if we're very unlucky, 2-inch in diameter, somewhere all the way from Wisconsin back out towards Colorado, New Mexico, back south towards South Carolina. And then we dive on into tomorrow's threat for severe weather. We got a level 1 threat over all of Virginia, Delaware, New Jersey, portions of Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and all of South Carolina under that level 1 risk, primarily for the potential of damaging winds. Hail threat is below 5%. Tornado threat is below 2%. So there's not that much of a threat tomorrow. I don't plan on, what's today? Crap, what's today? Thursday? Can't keep up. Happy August to those who are currently at 3:05. I know there's some people who are still stuck on July. Actually, I think, what is it? Taiwan? I think Taiwan is already on August 2nd. I think Taiwan's already on August 2nd. I'm pretty sure they're a full 12 hours ahead. So, yeah, it is Thursday, August 1st. Glad to have you guys here joining me for technically the first day of prime hurricane season. And there's a lot of activity out there, whole heck of a lot of activity out there in the Eastern Pacific and 1 AOI in the Gulf. But before we get into that, here's your day 3 risk. We do have a marginal risk out. I plan to do a full chase on Saturday. I plan to go towards probably near Raleigh. Probably knock on Lucky's doorstep out there, surprise him. No, not actually. he'll end up being at work, knowing my luck. But yeah, it depends on what it looks like day 1, but I'm going to be considering a chase down towards North Carolina. We'll probably see a slight risk for severe weather somewhere out in this area for the potential of significant damaging winds, the potential of some isolated large hail, and as well as the potential for a brief tornado on this day 3 risk. You'll see if you read the SPC's discussion, we go down here. They do note, however, a somewhat greater severe weather threat is possible from northern South Carolina into central Virginia, where strong mid-level flow may lead to local regions of better storm organization. So, should have a slight risk for severe weather by the time the day 1 rolls around out here for Saturday. In these areas. So, not that big of severe weather. Really, today's our last day, and it's honestly already over. Really, it was a very early afternoon, very late, extremely late morning, severe weather threat out here in this region. And then up here in Wisconsin, that threat's really just kicking off, but I mean, it's just some rain showers that might manage to squeeze out a NATO or 2 out here. Nothing looks remotely interesting at the moment, but we could see a brief tornado spin up here in Wisconsin inside this green area. That includes like Milwaukee, just northwest of Chicago for Rockford, Freeport, Illinois, eastern Iowa inside of that, as well as into portions of southeastern Minnesota, including La Crosse, Wisconsin out there, back up north towards Stanley and central Wisconsin. So definitely a threat for some very, very heavy rain showers and maybe a brief tornado out there in Wisconsin. And then same goes for this area, but like I said, oh, wrong day. But like I said, this area, threat's already decreasing. I mean, we only have this line here. It's on a weakening trend. It has been producing some damaging winds, though. You can see we've had a lot of reports here, especially in the Louisville or Louisville. Depends on where you're from and how you say it out there in Illinois. That's where we had a potential spin-up NATO right towards Flora. Almost went live for that, but it died out quite quickly. and that continued to push eastward and is now sub-severe. So again, only severe storm is this one in Evansville, Mount Vernon, southwestern Indiana, and then of course our severe in Virginia for just the southern portion of Winchester. So that's your full severe weather update there. I mean, might as well just show you guys the outlook, even though it's a little bit pointless. Let's go ahead and show y'all the day 4 through 8 outlook, where we don't have much to talk about. Now, this is predictability too low. None of these are potential. We'll zoom in just a bit. So all this is predictability too low. What that means is that severe weather will still be possible somewhere in the continental U.S. However, the exact placement and region of focused severe weather is unknown at this time. There's too much uncertainty. Oh, you're gonna love the thumbnail rain maves. Same with you, Catman. Oh my goodness, people are gonna love that thumbnail because it's gonna contradict what a certain somebody is saying out there on YouTube. It's great. I made it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put a text here that's gonna like surprise some people because everybody's out there calling for something crazy out of this system. And I will admit, now this morning, we've had a lot more evidence for a Cat 2 being a possibility in Florida. There's a lot more evidence for that. Before, it was like not even possible. It is in the realm of possibility now that we see a Category 2 towards Florida. It is definitely in the realm of possibilities now. But this is their outlook here. You can see, in addition to the Gulf of Mexico, Florida, and Georgia, South Carolina coast, that will be monitored for the potential of impacts from a tropical wave, according to the National Hurricane Center. Could develop into a tropical cyclone late this week or early next week. If organized tropical system does develop, some severe weather threat may materialize. So that's your main discussion. That is like your keep an eye on this, keep a very close eye on this thing from the National Weather Service. Up here, you could just see there's still the embedded shortwave troughs. Some potential damaging winds will be a possibility. Severe weather may be possible any day with this corridor of a pocket of remnant moisture along the frontal zone area across the region. So we're just going to still be in that same pattern of, we're not as bad. Like the last 3 days, we were in potential derecho pattern. Now we're kind of going back towards, maybe some isolated damaging wind bags could be possible out there. I don't see as big of a potential derecho pattern with this upcoming trough here. But I mean, yeah, you could still very well see it. It's still very much glaring there in bright yellow and green colors in Minnesota, North Dakota, maybe even into Wisconsin on the 3rd and 4th of August. So you're still in that active MCS pattern. I mean, you still have your high pressure, your ridge here, your elongated. This looks like a neutral. I can't tell the exact tilt of this. It looks more like a neutral tilt to me. Trough there. So yeah, that could allow for some severe weather for sure. Oh my goodness. Whew. Yes, a lot of damaging wind bags. That is for sure. Yep, days of damaging wind bags. Look at the probability of favorable instability here. We have it almost on a daily basis. We have the favorability for some storms. It gets a whole lot less favorable towards the middle portion of August, so still not the best. But it looks like we have an upcoming system. Does the NAM have anything on that? Nope. What about the actual NAM model as opposed to like the NAMnist? Yeah, see that? Yeah. Yeah, see that? That's a damaging windbag right there in Iowa, Minnesota. Almost the exact same setup we saw yesterday, which didn't materialize, by the way, for that area. It did not materialize. I don't think we saw gusts over 60 out there, so that's great news. It was all messy, but we'll keep an eye on Sunday. I don't think we'll be focused on severe weather. I don't think we're going to be doing severe weather coverage anytime soon. If not all of our live streams after today are going to be dedicated to this bad boy right here in Florida. I want to see if the NAM has it. Yeah, just had to check. But yeah, that's really what we're gonna be focused on is the tropical system out there that's expected to hit portions of Florida. It might curve back towards. You'll see that in my new video here at 4 Eastern. It could go anywhere in this area here. if not a little larger, because this thing could go right up towards Louisiana, Mississippi. The most likely scenario is it curves right near where Adalia made landfall last year. It could curve right towards like Tampa Bay out there. So there's a realm of possibilities for that tropical system. We'll dive in a little bit more here in just a moment. I don't want to focus on that too much right now. I do want to bring y'all over to the new HRRR just to show y'all what we're expecting for the next couple hours out here in our risks areas. Make sure everything's good to go. I guess we could switch to this scene, but just bear with me while I quickly change the code here. Oh, wow, I didn't change any of the codes. You know what? We're just not going to use that scene then. We're just not going to use that scene. But yeah, this is going to be your threat for severe weather. This is about 4 p.m. Could have some isolated strong storms in southwestern Indiana going into Kentucky, and then those storms start to die out, and it becomes really a line of rain, maybe some gusty winds up to about 40 to 50 out there in Kentucky. But our 70-mile-an-hour severe threat is really done already. So I think in terms of severe weather today, all eyes are probably going to be on like southern and central Wisconsin for the potential of a very brief spin-up tornado. Shouldn't have anything notable out there. If we go to your tornado ingredients, this is supercell composite. It's just really an easier way to tell your tornado threat, you know, how present it may be. And you can see it's present there. We've got some green and gray, but it's definitely nothing notable by any means. Now, if we were to dive in a little deeper, you know, we have instability there. That's very present. We have some mid to upper level shear. Lower level shear is a very lacking ingredient out there. So yeah, good temperature dew points. A good temperature dew point spread as well. So it's not the worst environment at all. We just don't have like a solid amount of wind shear or a good enough, how do I put this? Like a good enough forcing mechanism up there. There's not really anything that's going to get storms like, you know, being supercells out there. All right, let's go over to your, oh, is that a new severe? Yep. I've got a new severe for 60-mile-an-hour winds out here for Washington, now pointing eastward south of Bloomfield, Indiana. That is our only current severe storm for, that's 43 more minutes there. I think Ohio's going to be perfectly fine. You're in the risk for severe weather, but I think you'll be perfectly fine. I don't see much of a severe threat anymore, really anywhere. Let me go over to our tropical model runs now. We'll start out with actually our National Hurricane Center. This is your official National Hurricane Center, of course. Official information here. So this is a 70% chance. You're, like I said, you're good in Ohio. You're in the risk area, but the threat is currently underperforming considerably. So just watch out for some gusty winds, but you'll be completely fine. I highly doubt you'll even end up with gusty winds in Ohio. So this is your National Hurricane Center outlook. We now have a 30% chance for this storm to develop in the next 48 hours and a 70% chance that it develops in the next week. So we are anticipating a tropical storm is likely to form and head up towards Florida. Again, it could go straight towards like Louisiana, Mississippi. The most likely scenario is it hits like the western side of Florida right next to where Adalia made landfall. And then there's another scenario where it hits like Tampa Bay, Florida as well. So there's a few different tracks, a lot of different possibilities with this tropical system, but generally August 4th into August 5th is going to be the time frame for landfall out of this system. There's also some possibilities that this system can re-intensify in the eastern Atlantic. However, that's too far out to get into. But some models do show this thing intensifying and then hitting North Carolina as a tropical storm as well. So we'll need to monitor it very closely. Anyone in Florida, that's really the main area to keep an eye on. Is if you're in Florida, just watch this storm very, very closely, as it should impact the U.S. with really tropical storm force winds. Tropical storm is at this point expected. In the Eastern Pacific, completely left my mind to mention this in today's video here. That will be out at 4. That is, there's a 90% chance that we see a tropical depression or storm develop out here southwest of Mexico, southwest of Mexico. Move out to sea, fish storm there. Then this storm has a 20/20, so a 20% chance for the next 2 days, 20% for the next 7 days. And then we also have our tropical storm, which is a borderline hurricane now. It's expected to become a hurricane at any given moment. It most likely it's I mean, it's really close to being a hurricane. It's really just up to if the National Hurricane Center wants to designate it as a hurricane, but it's very close. It should be a Cat 2. I think it could get to a Category 2 hurricane. We'll go ahead and dive on into the models now on that. Just briefly going over it. There's your current look at our tropical storm in the Eastern Pacific. It's trying, but it has a lot less convection than what it did yesterday. It really doesn't look like a hurricane anymore. But these little kind of bursts of convections, that's what's going to make it a hurricane. But it doesn't seem to become an organized hurricane. You could see some models have it going to a Cat 1, Cat 2. These beforehand were going up to Cat 3. I think we even had some almost at Cat 4 with this tropical storm. So it now looks like we've downtrended a lot, and the maximum is a high-end Cat 2 with this tropical storm going out to sea in the Eastern Pacific. We also have you can see our guidance tier. It's going out to sea no matter what. We now have Invest 97L. This is a current look at it. Like I mentioned in my video, there's just a bunch of little convective blobs out here. Nothing too impressive, just a big disorganized bunch of light to moderate rain showers. The low pressure is currently centered over north central Dominican Republic. That's going to continue off to the northwest, or the west northwest rather. And it's moving at about, let's see, doesn't even say it here. Well, it's moving west-northwest. There you go. There's your tracks from our latest model run guidance. You can see a very wide variety of what's exactly going to happen. But generally, just off to the east of Louisiana, that whole area is open for landfall out of this upcoming tropical storm here. And like I said, some models show it going into the Atlantic again and then curving right back into North Carolina. So that is a possibility, but it's too far out to say anything for certain about. So if you're anywhere in Florida, you just need to watch this system very closely. Like I said, make sure you have your hurricane preparedness plan ready to go. It doesn't need to be put into action at all. Just make sure that it's ready to go. Make sure you can put it into action if it is needed out there. But at the moment, this system's not anything impressive, but it will intensify as it goes into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. It's crazy how yesterday we were like expecting this thing to curve out to sea, and then this morning it's like, oh shoot, we're looking at a tropical storm to possible hurricane for Florida. Like everything just changed in a matter of 12 hours. We went from this thing, yeah, it's gonna curve out to sea, to, man, this thing's going in the Gulf. So that's your tracks off of some model guidance there. We'll also dive on into our, I forgot about that. We have our super ensembles now. I completely forgot about that because we now have an Invest. So that means we can use our super ensemble computer model, which is absolutely fantastic. Not that. This, we'll look at that in just a second. But there's your intensity guidance for 97L. Again, probably looking at a... This is not it. This is not it. I looked at that right away and I was like, nope. There you go. I was going to say. Yeah, again, we're looking at a tropical storm to form, maybe pushing a Category 1 hurricane. I do feel like most of these are on the lesser side of things. But I think we'll see a tropical storm. I believe quite solely that we will see a tropical storm. There's a few models that show Cat 2. There's even one that shows a Cat 3. So you can't completely rule out, maybe a rapid intensification phase, but that's too far out. We'll deal with that once we get closer. Once this thing gets to the Gulf, we'll know more about its intensity. I told you guys about 4 or 5 days ago, once we hit August 1st, we'll know a lot more information. Now we know a lot more. The system's going to head towards Florida. It's probably going to form as a tropical storm. More intensification, we're just going to have to wait until we get closer to know anything about that. go ahead and show you guys the super ensembles, which I believe it's this one. Yep, 97L. And are your super ensembles on here? Is it this? Yeah, this is it. This is it. This isn't the exact. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so you could see, yeah, there's still quite a variety of different ensemble spreads here. There's a lot of differences, but you can see majority of the ensembles are going to have it going towards Florida, but there's still a very wide realm of possibilities. And then, man, as we go into like August 6th after landfall, these things go everywhere. That's even one over Tennessee. It's even a little ensemble over Tennessee there too. So that's just your super ensemble spreads. We'll go ahead and look at weather nerds here. Go ahead and show you guys. Evansville, I think you're okay. Yeah, you're just getting some very gusty winds now. Make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows. Gusty winds up to 50 will be possible over the next about 20 minutes. Refresh this. Go to your ensembles. Here is your European ensembles, which are like a full 360 of what we saw yesterday. There is your European ensemble model runs. You can see everywhere. Everywhere. You have some out here in the eastern, or rather the western Atlantic off the coastline of the southeast. And then you have the majority of them in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So there's a very wide variety of spread between these ensemble models. One of them, where does this originate from? See if we can follow that. Is that where it originates from? Oh my goodness. I guess that's where this shows a Cat 3, and I think it originates from this ensemble here. Pushes it to the northwest and then brings it right into right into Mississippi. That's so unrealistic. Gracious day. But there's your European ensembles, and then here's your GFS ensembles. So they're relatively the same in the sense of everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So just make sure you're checking the National Hurricane Center frequently, preferably at least 3 to 5 times a day. We'll keep you updated on this channel on pretty sure a daily basis. I don't know about, I'll probably have a video tomorrow. I'll probably try to do a solid video tomorrow. And then I'll probably do, I don't know about Saturday. Saturday is going to be up in the air because of a chase day. Oh, now tomorrow looks decent for a chase day too. We'll just see. I want to try to get a video out tomorrow, but if it's, if I can't, that's okay. But the only reason why tomorrow and Saturday are going to be, up in the air is because I want to chase. I want a torn chase. I believe there is a chance for tornadoes out there. Yeah, you are in the risk for a brief tornado threat out there. You're in a 2% chance, so can't completely rule out a spin-up tornado. But like I said, that line is weakening fast. It's a lot weaker than we initially expected, so the risk is just overall a lot less than we anticipated. A live stream definitely won't be needed tomorrow. There is no organized severe weather at all anywhere in the U.S. tomorrow. It's just isolated thunderstorms. So, we won't be doing a live stream tomorrow, which is why I mean, unless it's a briefing. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. That's the thing about weather, y'all, is these live streams and videos, they all depend off of what weather does. So, Owensboro, you actually just got under a special weather statement for 40 to 55 mile-an-hour winds. So in about 40 minutes, you're going to be hit by a line that could produce 40 to 55 mile-an-hour winds. That line is right here, moving off to the southeast. I need to work on my arrows. I need to draw them perfectly like that. That is not perfect. Better. Because normally I just draw them like this, like right here. I want to learn how to draw a fast arrow. Johnson City, Tennessee, you're good. Just some isolated thunderstorms. Nothing notable by any means. So, yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you've hit that like button and share the stream with your family, friends, social media. Most of you guys have hit that like button already, which is really, really appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We do this as frequently as possible. I try my best to do this daily, but sometimes I like to chase. Sometimes I have things that come up, but I attempt to do this daily. And I appreciate everybody who has tuned in over the last few weeks, of course, with our live coverage on the severe weather, as well as the Beryl was, my word, Beryl was, what, a month ago at this point? Yeah, Beryl was more than a month ago. Yikes. Yikes. The first video I put out on Beryl was actually the 26th of June. And then the last update we did on Beryl, I believe, was the tornado outbreak that Beryl produced. Which was... Oh, no, I remember that. No, Beryl caused tornadoes all the way up to, like, the northeast, so... I mean, we were live streaming Beryl's remnants all the way till the 10th of July. So from June 26th to the 10th of July, we were doing daily updates on Beryl. Man. I don't think so, Haley, but you got pretty rough storms yesterday. I think you were in a destructive severe last night. I'm pretty sure right when I was about to go to sleep, I saw you in a destructive severe in Kansas City. I don't know if that ended up producing, you know, very significant damaging winds or not. From the looks of it, it definitely did, from what I'm seeing on reports here. Let's see. Yeah, 70-mile-an-hour wind gust, multiple trees down, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, trees down, limbs broken, tree down on a residence, down trees in a neighborhood. Let's see, 81-mile-an-hour wind gust west of Kansas City. Yeah, so that was pretty rough. That was just after, I think, midnight. Right around midnight. Right around midnight, Kansas City was hit with that destructive storm yesterday. Southwest Wisconsin, it's there's a lot of predictability issues because it's so isolated. But Southwest Wisconsin, your main threat today, I mean, you're under the risk for all hazards. Damaging winds of 60 miles per hour, some isolated hail up to an inch in diameter, and a tornado or two will all be possible out there in Southwest Wisconsin. They're just rain showers that might manage to somehow become severe. So you want to keep an eye on that. Throughout the day, I believe the peak activity, that will be about 5, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll go back and look. Yeah. Actually, a little bit later. It looks like the peak starts about 6 o'clock and goes towards like 10. So from like 6 to 10, it looks like we have a good chance at a tornado or two, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and about 1-inch hail out in Southwest Wisconsin. Yikes. This model run is very messy for me tomorrow, but... Man, I'll take any storm. Shoot. I'll take any storm. Count me in. It looks like tomorrow's going to be a little south, so I'll probably head towards Madison, Maiden tomorrow. That's about an hour away. Actually, I don't think that's that far anymore. I moved houses, I forgot. Yeah, that's probably like 30 minutes down the road, actually. Looks like storms hit me right about 4. Yeah, 3, 4 o'clock. So it depends on a video. If I can, if I'm available at like 2, I could try to get a video out and try to do everything before I chase. Ooh, you know what? I'm actually available, yeah, I'm actually available right around noon. 11:30 noon, so the information may be a little bit old in tomorrow's video, but I can get a video out. I could get a video. I could film it around 11:30, and then edit it and finish it by 1, and then get it out at 4. So I'll try for that. I'll aim for that. Let's see, what's tomorrow? Friday? Actually, we'll do one at 5. No, because you get new information at 5. True. SPC updates at 8 o'clock, and then... Wait, when do they update? I thought it was 2 p.m., but I don't think it is. I have no idea. Yeah, they update at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., 2 a.m., 8 a.m. Yikes. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to put out old information, like really old information. I have no idea, y'all. Who knows? Central Indiana, you're fine. Everything's staying to your south. E-Town, Kentucky. And go over to that. Let's see. That ain't popping up here for some reason. E-Town, Kentucky. I got a J-Town in Louisville. But if you're in this area here, if you're in the yellow, you have a risk for up to 60 mile an hour winds, 1.5 inch hail, as well as a brief tornado. That could all be possible if you're in this yellow region here. Make sure y'all are on the right screen. You are. You are. Head near Greenville, South Carolina. That might not be a bad idea for Saturday's threat, but I don't think I'm going to go that far to the southwest on Saturday. I hope I don't got to go too far. For a threat like Saturday looks pretty good. I'm willing to go like 3 hours away on Saturday. Or 2 to 3 hours away for Saturday's severe threat. The only thing is getting home in time before it gets too dark, because if you guys have never driven in southwestern Virginia before, it is death-defying terrain. I mean, if you just go a little bit, like, right at the speed limit, you could easily just lose control and fall off the mountain. So, you always have to go very, very slow. It is no joke out here. And then don't even get me started out towards, like, Mount Airy, North Carolina, or just north of that, like, out towards Hillsville. Hillsville, man. And they don't have guardrails. We don't have guardrails out here. Like, the main interstates and highways, those have guardrails, but the sharp turns that send you off the cliff, most of them out in, like, Hillsville, I've seen so many without any guardrails. I'm like, I don't want to go driving in that area at dark. No way. Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Thank you, Pete. I go on these rants all the time. So, yep, you're under that risk for severe weather. I don't think you'll see too much, honestly. Just very heavy rain, some gusty winds. Time frame for it will be, let's see, Elizabethtown, Central Kentucky. You're looking at about, let me convert this in my head, 4 or 5. So that's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Yeah, 6:30, 7 o'clock. About 3 hours from now. You're going to have that risk for some gusty winds, maybe a brief tornado. That tornado threat's very, very low. So mainly just some gusty winds. Very low tornado threat, but can't fully rule out a spin up. Caleb, obviously you live in like a city. You live in East Peoria, man. You don't got to deal with these mountains that literally like you can't go the speed limit. If you go the speed limit, you're going to just be turning too sharply. I need to live stream it one day and show you. Proxy probably knows. Proxy, you live in Southwest Virginia. You got any of those ridiculous hills where if you go out at night, and you go the speed limit, there's no guardrails like at all, so you could just easily go right off the cliff on accident. I'll never forget that one in Hillsville, man. Don't ever go to California and drive the mountains in TOG. We would go off Road Mountain at 14,000 feet. Yeah. Yeah, no thank you. I don't think I'm going to California. I don't think I'll be going to California anytime soon. This area, Proxy, you're, you know what, Proxy, I didn't even realize you were this close. I thought you were, like, over here. I actually chased in your area about a month and a half ago or so. Very, very close to you. And, yeah, you're in the risk for severe weather for some gusty winds today, tomorrow, and Saturday. So just 3 days straight of, some gusty winds. That could be possible, but I don't see anything notable, nothing that looks like a tornado threat or a crazy, you know, organized severe weather event. So you should be perfectly fine. Should be getting a new SPC outlook in about 20 minutes or so. I plan to go for just under another hour on this live stream because it's turned into a briefing as opposed to coverage. If this line was stronger, I would stay here for probably near 3 hours, but there's only one severe. I mean, there is literally only one severe here, and we just got a second one in Georgia now. Literally just like a minute ago, that severe was issued. Yep. About 3 minutes ago, that severe was issued out there in Georgia for the Carnesville, Royston area in Georgia. Just some more gusty winds. Stay away from doors and windows. Yeah, you never want to drive in Southwest Virginia at night. Like, Roanoke's pretty bad, but this area is like a complete no-go right here. This is like a no-go area at night. Even this highway 58, you have no cell reception. It is horrific turns, and you are in the middle of nowhere. It's not a good highway. It makes it look good on like a map. You're like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. You know, that's a highway. It doesn't look bad at all. But I mean, look at this. There's just trees. What is that? What is that? Is that snow? That can't be snow. That's got to be like clouds. I didn't know that before. Wait, what? This isn't supposed to have clouds on it, y'all. I didn't know it had clouds. Because this is the satellite imagery. Not satellite imagery. This is like a satellite map. It doesn't actually have the imagery with it, but yeah, look at that. That's all clouds. Any over here? Well, it's a base map, Pez. You know, like if I pull up the map I use for thumbnails, you're not going to see clouds on that. It's a map. Just like this. You're not going to see clouds on this map. Like, for instance, if it was gray, you're not going to find any clouds on it. It's a base map. So, I was like, what? I wonder when this imagery was taken then, because obviously it just, like, took a picture of it and, you know, they just literally used satellite imagery. From, like, you know, from, like, Tropical Tidbits or something. Just flopped it on there. Today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, today's Thursday, so upload time, that is, YouTube tells me to upload at 4 p.m. today. And I'm doing it. I have a video coming out at 4. Y'all are gonna love that thumbnail. It's great. I'm a genius. Yeah, Omaha was, unfortunately, I believe the entire city of Omaha was without power yesterday. I mean, it was crazy. Owensboro, I know we have some from Owensboro. You're now in a severe thunderstorm warning. We just got 2 new severes. Let me go over here. So if you're in Owensboro, make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows. You do have time. There's no lightning strikes in the area, so make it as quick as you can, no longer than 5 minutes. Don't stay out longer than 5 minutes. Make sure you have tightened things down out there. Make sure you don't have anything that's going to go flying around. But again, don't stay out there more than 5 minutes, because after 5 minutes, you're going to start hearing some thunder. Lightning's going to get close, and then after about 10 minutes or so, it's going to start getting gusty out there towards about 4 p.m. Eastern. So don't stay out there long. They did give you quite a heads up, so that's good news. That means you have some time. Whereas if you're out here in like Tell City in Kentucky, you don't have any time. Just make sure you're staying indoors, away from doors and windows. Don't go outside. Storms are already over you. Yesterday wasn't classified as a derecho. Nope. The only one that's a debatable derecho, it didn't even survive long enough, but I mean, it was a early morning line that went through from like 11 a.m. all the way till when we went live near like 4 p.m. That line was severe. But the one in Omaha didn't last long enough at all. Do you think that was smoke? No, it was clouds on there. I just never noticed that before. I ain't never seen it. I've never seen clouds on this site before. I just didn't know they had clouds. Like, hold on, let me go to 3D. There is some 3D flat clouds for you. It's like this. I have never seen clouds on GR2 before, because it's a base satellite map. I guess you learn something new every day. I had no idea about that one. We'll see if they extend the severe into Michelle, Buford, or Bedford. Buford is how we say it here. Williams, I guess it's Bedford because it's spelled with Bedford. Bedford out here in Indiana. You're not under a severe yet. I don't know if they're going to extend it. Let's stop looking at clouds now. I'm going to remember that cloud forever. You guys are under a special weather statement for 50-mile-an-hour winds. I'm going to screenshot that, actually. Screenshotting it, and then we'll send it to Lucky. That's crazy. You're not supposed to be there, clouds. I will never have 10K people in the chat. I'm extremely lucky to have more than 1 or 0 people in chat. So, yeah, I appreciate all y'all being here. We're still staying live for a little longer just to track these severe storms, as well as wait for the new SPC outlook. I would expect them to drop this portion of the slight risk, like up here. This could still head into Ohio towards Cincinnati, northern Kentucky, so I'd expect them to trim off at least a small portion of that northern side. Of the slight risk for severe weather. We'll see if they do it. That update comes out in 12 minutes. Man, I freak out about almost anything weather. Super. I'm a big weather nerd. Do I think there will be a watch in Wisconsin? I don't know. I do not think you guys will be put under a watch. I love what the HRRR has in the morning hours of Saturday. An uncapped environment of 3,000 instability at, get this, just 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and to have an uncapped environment of 3,000 instability. That is ridiculous. So I'll probably end up chasing Saturday. I wonder, what are the chances Lucky's available to chase? Because if I head down there, I might as well just pick them up. Might as well just go out and chase some rain showers. North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina on Saturday. In Central Ohio, if you're not in this watch, you probably won't be put in one. This is the only watch that I'm expecting today. So, if you're towards like Columbus, the only area that's in a watch in Ohio is Cincinnati, Southwest Ohio. Southwestern Ohio is under that severe thunderstorm watch. Alrighty, we're gonna keep waiting for this. I'm wanting to see the last, just 2 more frames of the HRRR here. What is the wind shear? Okay, no lower level wind shear, but we've got a okay amount of mid-level wind shear. Is there a trough? No. No. There's a lower level jet, though. Like, what? So there's barely any mid-level jet stream, but there is actually a lower level jet stream. A lower level jet, what you call it. That looks fun. Oh my goodness, storms firing at 1 o'clock? That is ridiculous. That is like a dream setup right there in North Carolina and Virginia. Most of the time our storms go up closer to like 4, so they end up being like very late evening, and some even go towards night. So if we see storms fire at like 12:31, which I mean right now we have storms in the upper areas of the southern Appalachians, but I mean those are just rain showers. I am wanting to chase literal rain. This doesn't show anything for South Carolina at the moment. But I imagine it will once it goes a little bit further in the loop, so we probably won't know. Tomorrow we'll know much more about Saturday, and then Saturday we'll know a lot more about Saturday. But you'll probably end up with some isolated strong to severe storms out there. The last frame of the HRRR shows a very sloppy, but actually a favorable. A very sloppy mode, but a favorable tornado threat. Look at this very sloppy mode here. But some of these storms would actually have a tornado threat. You can see nothing initiated in South Carolina on this model run. It doesn't go out far enough. This is only at 2 p.m. But this stuff would have a very small chance of a tornado, but there. If we could just get no cloud cover in the morning, too. It might be a little bit poorly timed. If we could have slightly, and I mean just like 1 hour later initiation, like if storms could fire at 1:32 as opposed to 12:31, that could make a big difference on Saturday. It's not going to happen. I don't know why I look at this stuff and get myself all excited and then turn around and it does absolutely nothing by the time the day rolls around. I still don't have that new outlook yet. It's expected to be in 7 minutes, so hopefully they ain't late. Go over here. All right, that's today's. Tomorrow's. Looking at CSU. CSU actually has a decent chance for storms tomorrow. Some isolated damaging winds, very small hail. No tornado threat, like literally zero. Zero tornado threat tomorrow for me. I don't see any place that we could see tornadoes tomorrow. There might be a risk for a very brief one in like eastern Tennessee, eastern Kentucky, western North Carolina, far western Virginia. Like this area here for tomorrow. But it's very low. I don't think we'll see a 2% tornado risk introduced. All right, Owensboro, you are about to be hit with this severe storm. You see that pocket? This actually could be pretty rough for Owensboro. This is exactly where the strongest portion of the line is, and it's heading right for Owensboro. So definitely want to be indoors away from doors and windows if you are in Owensboro, Kentucky. NATOcast isn't out yet for Saturday, but for tomorrow, NATOcast has a 0.1% chance for me. Which means I chase. If there's a chance, I chase. Because last time I chased, there ended up being a tornado to my east. And I was just too far to the west. I didn't commit. Thank you for subscribing, Nancy. Much appreciated. So 60-mile-an-hour winds will be moving into Owensboro right now. We might have a camera on this. I forgot if Kentucky has good cameras or not. It's been a very long time since I've checked Kentucky's traffic cameras. Okay, they have like none in Owensboro, according to this. Most of their cameras are in Louisville and Bowling Green. Well, that ain't fun. Let's see. This one might have some cameras out there. Maybe. Man, you guys have like no cameras in Western Kentucky here. This is Owensboro. I'll look it up again. Owensboro. Yeah, there's none. Zero. Well, here's one, but it's from it's from 6 hours ago, so that's not really going to be too useful, is it? But there's definitely a strong storm, severe storm now, actually approaching Owensboro. Just make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows, and you will be perfectly fine. We could get a 3D look at this, see if it might have a shelf cloud here. It probably has a shelf cloud, so probably a pretty good, interesting structure there. Probably a very tall shelf. No, that might be your shelf right at my cursor right here. So strong to severe line here. It's severe over Owensboro, Kentucky. There's a bigger look at it, and you could clearly tell where the strongest portion of the line is. It's right in here. Then you have your severe storm for Owensboro. I don't know if Rockport's inside of that. They are. They are actually inside of that severe as well. Yeah, so there's your pocket of 60+ mile-an-hour winds, and it's going right into Owensboro, Kentucky. There's a new model run for today's severe threat, and it has it dying out. So this line should die out rapidly after 4:30. About 4:35, it should die out. It's pretty much it's very isolated severe storms at this point. HC live stream at 4. That ain't right. Update will be at 8. Is it on the Book of Faces or YouTube? Let's see here. NHC. They haven't provided an update on Twitter. I don't see it. Maybe they will. I don't see it on Twitter that they're doing an update. They didn't tweet about it. Oh, well, shoot. There it is. Oh, wow. Huh. Hold on. Is there two National Hurricane Centers on here? Have I been following the wrong one or something? There is two National Hurricane Centers. Well, shoot. I'll follow them too. They're both official National Hurricane Centers, but why is there two of them? Oh, this is National Hurricane Center Atlantic, and this is just the overall National Hurricane Center. Oh, okay, okay. Well, we'll watch that. We will watch that for sure. We'll see what Mike has to say about our tropical system. Well, thank you for showing me that, Super, because I had no idea there was another National Hurricane Center account. One's for the Atlantic, and one is just the overall NHC. I will definitely watch that. They're pretty short too, so I'm gonna have to like refresh this every like 5 seconds if I'm wanting to see it, because they don't give you too much time to to click on their stream. You know, here on this channel we give you 2 minutes, and then of course we do all the intro and everything too. So typically it's about a good solid 5 minutes before we really dive into things, unless it's urgent. They are like, start the stream, 10 seconds, do it for 3 minutes, done. Their typical briefings are about 6 to 8 minutes, but I mean, I've seen some very short ones before. This is probably going to be a very short one from them. There's no tornado in Owensboro, but you do have quite the amount of damaging winds happening. Potentially over 60-mile-an-hour winds ongoing in Owensboro. We just got a report to your southwest of 60-mile-an-hour winds. I'm going to go ahead and unmute Streamlabs so that way you guys will be able to hear this. And he is live. Am I going to get an ad? Nope. So this is from the National Hurricane Center on YouTube. You are very much welcome to go and watch it yourself as well. I guess I will switch y'all over to... This screen will probably be the biggest screen. He's going to be cut off. Regardless, he will be cut off. Don't start yet. Hold on. Wait for me. Live editing. Okay. There you go. There we go. My face cam's here. He is taking a little while to go. It's over a minute. They actually waited for me. I appreciate it, Mike.
Hi, everybody. This is Mike Brennan here at the National Hurricane Center. It's just after 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, August 1st. We're coming on this afternoon to give you an update on an area of disturbed weather associated with a tropical wave that we're watching that's near Hispaniola and moving through the Turks and Caicos to southeastern Bahamas. You can see it here on the satellite imagery. See some disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity as the wave continues to move off to the west-northwest. We're not expecting a lot of development with this system over the next day or so, but once it moves past Cuba and through the Bahamas and then moves up near or over Florida and into the eastern Gulf of Mexico, we expect conditions to become a little more favorable, and we are expecting this system to go on and develop into a tropical depression or perhaps a tropical storm later this weekend or even early next week as it moves near Cuba, near or over portions of the Florida Peninsula or across the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So at this stage in the development of a system that doesn't really have a lot of character yet, there's not a lot of certainty in terms of the location and magnitude of the impacts. But what we're most confident in for now is the potential for heavy rainfall across much of the Florida Peninsula, the Florida Keys. Don't want you to pay too much attention to the exact numbers in the rainfall totals here, which we're showing through Tuesday morning, but just that there is the potential for widespread heavy rainfall affecting much of Florida. The eventual location and amounts of the heaviest rainfall, which could certainly exceed 5 inches in some locations, will be determined by the exact track that this system takes and how it evolves over the next few days, going into the weekend and into early next week. week. So again, just keep an eye on this system. Everybody in Florida want to pay attention to this. Check in for regular updates as we go through the next couple of days, because again, we are expecting a tropical depression to form likely in the eastern Gulf of Mexico this weekend and into early next week. And as a reminder, folks who live on the west coast of Florida, the Gulf Coast, know that it doesn't take a hurricane to produce significant impacts from things like storm surge or wind impacts as well. So we'll want to keep an eye out for those. The details on those are still undefined at this point. So again, just a reminder to stay tuned. For everybody else, we're now heading into August. We've been talking for the last couple of months about how most of the hurricane activity in the Atlantic Basin happens in these sort of peak months of August, September, October, and this is the frequency of storms as we go through the hurricane season. We're going to be on this fast train going up the hill here during the month of August, with the peak of hurricane activity occurring in early September, continuing on through September and October. A reminder, we are expecting a above normal activity this hurricane season. So for folks in Florida and everybody in hurricane prone areas, just a couple of reminders as we head into the peak of the season. Know your risk, know what your threats are where you live and where those that you care about live are from storm surge, rainfall, flooding, strong winds, tornadoes, rip currents. Determine if you live in a flood-prone area, both at the coast and inland, and have that evacuation plan in place if you live, especially in a storm surge evacuation zone. Know where you're going to go, how you're going to get there if you're asked to leave by your local officials, and identify your home structural risks. Mobile homes and basements can be especially vulnerable to flooding from heavy rainfall and storm surge, as well as wind. And again, just a couple of reminders. It's not too late to get your hurricane supply kit ready. This is a great time to top that off or get that ready for the peak of the season. If you haven't done so already, think about multiple days worth of food and water, medicine and prescriptions. Keep the gas tank full in your car. Maybe have some extra gas on hand. Make sure you have cash on hand, and make sure you have batteries, radio, phone chargers, everything you might need to be ready to survive the aftermath of an event. So again, just a reminder, keep checking back here at the National Hurricane Center. You can come to our website at hurricanes.gov. You can find your local National Weather Service office at weather.gov. So stay tuned for more information on this system that we are expecting to become a tropical depression later this weekend or early next week across the eastern Gulf of Mexico. We'll be back with more updates later in the week and through the weekend. I'm Mike Brennan at the National Hurricane Center.
There you go. They normally close it pretty quick. That was about just around 6 minutes. I'm going to switch it all over to this one. There you go. We did just get the new National Weather Service update. They actually kept most of that slight risk for severe weather, oddly enough, in my opinion. Kind of expected them to just extend a good chunk of that on the northern side, but they have kept that for the potential of some damaging winds as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. Still a very large 2% chance for tornadoes, even more to the west of where that line. So some additional convection that may be able to produce a weak tornado will form probably later this evening. Still kept that 2% up in Wisconsin. That's still the same. What the heck is that? Ah, okay. That's a flood report. I was like, what's that up there? Okay. Hail threat, still the same, still a massive 5%. Wind threat, still the same, 15% with a big 5% around that. So, still relatively the same in terms of the risk. The only major change was, I believe, the tiniest disextension of a slight risk right here, and that is about it. Pretty sure that is your only big change. Your only thing that's notable there with that new outlook, so... yeah, we're going to close out soon. Not now, but in about 20 minutes or so, we'll begin to close out. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, any comments regarding weather or anything in terms of forecast intensity and, you know, your area, what may hit your area, go ahead and put them in the comments, live chat, and I will try my best to answer it from what I know. Yeah, they already had a rainfall map. It's very early to have a map like that. That's interesting. It's pretty early for that to be out, but I mean, they already have a risk for rainfall. You can see here, there's your day 3 marginal, day 4 slight risk, and a day 5 slight risk for excessive rainfall. So we already have your day 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, and 5. What about 2? Nothing on 2. I'm in a marginal risk for rainfall in day 3, too. That will probably be upgraded to a slight. Kearney get more severe weather. Oh, let me start at the top. Why are you still in a marginal risk? I just said it. Some additional convection will be possible late this evening. Could produce isolated damaging winds. Matter of fact, the new model run HRRR shows a storm firing right over you in 1 hour. So we'll see how much that busts. But yeah, plentiful amount of storms could still fire. Some may even produce a weak tornado. That'll be later on. Edwin, Virginia. Oh, I skipped one tropical storm in the Pacific Ocean near Mexico. That is indeed what's out there. Here's the NHC for the EPAC. We have a tropical storm out there west of Mexico. That's just going to go out to sea. It should become a hurricane at any moment. Whenever their next advisory will be, they'll probably designate that as a hurricane. So, yeah, there is one out there, but it's moving out to sea. Shouldn't be any issue for Mexico or any land for that matter. Haley, the next time you'll see severe weather, it looks like there seems to be a possibility, probably on the, I don't know if it'll be for you, but it's going to be, close in and around your area, sometime on, Sunday night. So on August 4th, it looks like we might have a severe weather event, but I don't think it will be for you. So I'll just monitor it, but I don't see any severe weather for your location in the near future, but maybe some close calls to your north. Abbeville, South Carolina. I get hit of a line of storms right now. Tonight, right now. It's near Greenville, South Carolina. Oh, I see that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what your marginal risk for severe weather is out for. Just some gusty winds. That's about it. Shouldn't see anything crazy with that. Yeah, we shouldn't. There's not a notable tornado threat. There's just two big 2% chances. So we ought to see at least a tornado threat tonight. But something that's like notable where we have to stay live and where we're getting multiple warnings, that is definitely not anticipated. We should not see that. Matter of fact, I completely forgot my video is out now. My video is now out. I'm going to go see that. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and quickly pin this comment. This one. Caleb already went on there. I didn't even notice. I forgot my own video came out. No, I'm not. Add. Good thing you guys couldn't hear it. Okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and look at that severe storm again. It is definitely still producing some damaging winds. Hopefully, Owensboro wasn't impacted too rough there. Thankfully, not many reports at the moment, so hopefully it stays that way. This line is going to continue as a relatively weak line pushing east. The majority of the line is going to have the potential for about 50-mile-an-hour winds, but there's definitely going to be some areas that could produce upwards of 60, maybe even pushing 70-mile-per-hour winds as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon into the evening. And I will I'll be on standby. I don't think we'll see anything else tonight, but I'll be here. I'll be watching it, but I don't expect anything to happen. I think we got a mesoscale discussion. Didn't even notice that one. We have a mesoscale discussion out for Kentucky, this area. A damaging wind gust of 50 to 65 mile-an-hour winds will be a possibility as the storm moves into southern Indiana, into central Kentucky. That is for this storm here, of course. And then back up in Indiana, Wow. That is something. Interesting. A watch is for sure possible out here from Indianapolis back out towards Columbus. They have a 60% chance of us getting a severe thunderstorm watch. I don't see much stuff happening there. A lot of that just looks relatively weak. Maybe an isolated severe storm or two out there as we go towards 7 o'clock Eastern time. But if you're in this area right here, this yellow outline, we do have the potential for some damaging winds, maybe some isolated hail up to an inch in diameter, as well as a brief tornado. There's a 60% chance of us seeing a watch there, which I definitely was not expecting that. We also have a discussion out up here in Wisconsin, in this area. Few strong to severe storms will be possible this afternoon. A watch is not expected. A brief land spout tornado cannot be ruled out. Also, a mesoscale discussion in Virginia. Scattered thunderstorms will pose a hail and a wind risk this afternoon. A watch is not anticipated. So there's a rundown over a few new things that I actually missed quite a lot. I missed quite a lot there. I wasn't paying attention to the mesoscale discussions. Let's see. I'm going to go back over here. Alrighty. The new model run is in. It still shows everything relatively weak. Nothing that's worth covering, but still stuff that we want to keep an eye on just in case. Just in case something ends up, you know, forming and becoming more intense than anticipated. Close out all of this. Alrighty. Whoa, no wonder why. I have like 8 tabs open over here. I'm going to close the rest of them over here. I accumulate so many tabs, y'all. I'm still closing. I've been closing them for like the last minute. There you go. I've closed them all. I don't close all my tabs out, so they accumulate really, really fast. Yeah, it looks like this line is a bit on a strengthening trend here. Just issued a new severe further south towards Central City for the potential of 60-mile-an-hour winds and 0.75-inch hail. So this line is on an intensifying trend at the moment. Probably just a little burst of energy that it's starting to get thanks to cell mergers. That's going to remain a possibility. You know, we're definitely going to potentially see upwards of 70, potentially 70-mile-an-hour winds. Definitely going to see the risk for 55-mile-an-hour winds throughout most of the day out here. So we'll just continue to monitor that. I don't expect it to be very significant, but like I said, you know, an isolated significant gust of 70 will be possible. We just got a new discussion out here. 5% chance for a severe thunderstorm watch to be issued in northeastern New Mexico, extreme western panhandle of Oklahoma, and northwestern panhandle of Texas. The conditions are going to be favorable for the potential of severe wind gusts. A watch issuance is not expected. They say a lot more, but that's just your briefing there. Long story short, some wind gusts will be possible, but a watch is not expected. Fort Knox, Kentucky. Let's see. It was Radcliffe. So that's out towards Lexington. The line should be very weak by the time it gets to you. But later tonight, can't fully rule out some 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts right around 9 o'clock Eastern. Closer to 8 o'clock Eastern, about 8 o'clock Eastern. Can't rule out some gusty winds right around, 50. Albany, Kentucky. Same goes for you. Right about 8 o'clock, some gusty winds will be possible. Possibly up to 60, but most likely right around 50. It just depends on where that line tracks. It's beginning to move a little bit more south, so it should go right towards you. but hopefully it's not intense. But if you're in that watch area, anywhere in this watch area, right here, this yellow region, this includes Cincinnati, Bloomington, Elizabethtown, Lexington, back out towards your area, South Central Kentucky. Up to 70-mile-an-hour winds will be possible as a line moves through over the next couple hours. It should begin to rapidly weaken right around 9 p.m. as it exits that watch area. That watch expires at 9 p.m. I didn't even know that. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button so that way we can reach more people. Share this channel and stream with your family, friends, social media. I did upload a video, so we're going to conclude here in just a bit, about 10 minutes. So if you need any more information, then go right ahead and watch that video. I did a very, very quick severe weather update in that it's mainly focused on the tropical system. So yeah, if you want an update on the tropical system or the severe weather, I mean, you could just rewind the stream, go back to the beginning about 3 minutes in and watch from 3 minutes to about 10 minutes, and you're going to know pretty much everything we've talked about in this live stream. Because at the start, we do a complete briefing over pretty much everything that there is to talk about. Sometimes I forget a few things, though, so. I think it'll hit Cincinnati. What time do you think it'll hit Cincinnati? I don't think it will be that strong. But if it does hit Cincinnati, there's going to be a few scattered thunderstorms right around 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern. Actually, my bad. That is, 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then the line, if the line is still severe and it's still strong, it will hit you about 8 o'clock Eastern time. Let me go over to that burst on our tropical storm in the Eastern Pacific is still going. It's trying to become a hurricane. It should succeed. I'd be pretty surprised if it doesn't, but you never know. Maybe it won't. But here's a look at our, let me go to a different website here, more high definition radar, or satellite rather. High definition satellite right here. Go to satellite data. Go to 95, not 95, 97L. There it is. There is your current look. I'll go ahead and show y'all in just a second. Right after I find the right one. Here's our look at our Invest 97L. Very disorganized. Very, very disorganized. We'll pause it at the end. That's the current look as of about, geez, that's behind. This hasn't updated in a little while. This is almost 30 minutes old. So here's your near 30-minute old satellite data. I thought it was like 5 minutes old. Wonder if I could get it a little bit sooner than that. What would this one be? Yeah, this is still, apparently it's 30 minutes old, but there you go. That's a look at 97L. Not doing too well out there, but I mean, it's alive. It's going. It will be a lot more organized once it can get into that eastern Gulf of Mexico right around August, the morning of August 4th, the late night hours of the 3rd of August. Alrighty. Well, we're going to go ahead and conclude the stream, y'all. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, I just posted a video, so if you guys would go ahead and go to that video, just uploaded 23 minutes ago. Hit the like button on that and share it. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. That way we can get the word out about this tropical system heading towards Florida. Like I said, I I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of content for today or tomorrow. It's just going to depend off of my chasing, what I chase and when I chase. So we'll just see. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll end up doing a storm chase live stream. You never know. Not that one. There you go. So maybe I'll have a storm chasing live stream if something's good enough. I'll stream it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you, mods from on chat. Caleb, Catman, I believe were the two main mods who tuned in and modded chat. I don't know if I saw any other mod, but of course, thank you to all the other mods who have been modding the chat over the last couple years. Pete, thank you for modding chat. I know Pete was in here, so yeah, Girl Dev, you're perfectly fine to sleep. Yeah, you can go to sleep. There shouldn't be much activity. Probably just some light to moderate rainfall, maybe a lightning strike, maybe some gusty winds, but nothing that's going to be, you got to stay up for. I would still have a weather radio or, your phone on, just so that way if you manage to get under something, you'll know. But it's extremely unlikely. It is extremely unlikely. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. On your way out, if you can, hit that like button, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's greatly appreciated. The next planned live stream, I don't know. There's not a lot of activity. I guess we'll shoot for Sunday. Sunday's the next guaranteed live stream. We're gonna have content before that. I hope I will. But Sunday's going to be the next guaranteed live stream, thanks to that tropical system. But hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow with whatever content I choose to do. And I did switch to this scene a little bit early, so I'm going to keep yapping on here for another whole minute before we go to our outro music. So, yeah. Yes, I remembered Pete. I remembered Pete somehow. You're welcome, Jay. Thank you for tuning in. It's always great to see the reoccurring viewers still here. For instance, Girl Dev, Haley, Jay, Jim, Abby's now becoming a frequent too. Yours in here, super. A lot of new people are becoming very frequent in here. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys are enjoying the coverages and the briefings. And yeah, that is going to be it for this live stream. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and your night. And I will see you guys in at least Sunday's live stream, but it should be before that. So what are you LOLing about there, Caleb? Yes, I went to the scene a little early. I did. I went to it a whole 2 minutes early, which normally I don't. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. Stay safe, watch severe weather and the tropics. Have a great rest of your day and night. See you guys later. Goodbye. Stay safe for severe weather in the tropics, and I'll see you guys in my next live stream. Have a great rest of your day and night. Good.